Hey, this is Nelson and Ali, and we're with Coconut Investment Group. We are based in Jaco, Costa Rica. We do various uh, businesses. One that we're going to talk about today is investing in coconut farmlands. And most people go coconuts, they think of pina colada, or they think of coconut cream or coconut oil. And those are all byproducts of what a coconut actually can produce. So to start off, I think the easiest way is the coconut market is a booming market. It's a commodity. Just to give you a little background, in June of last year, the coconut in market in country was 8 cents a unit. Today, we just took a delivery yesterday at our factory, and it was up to 28 cents in country. In the international market, it ranged from 13 to 15 cents per coconut. That was of a week ago. I'm not sure what it is here recently, but again, it was 7 to 8 cents back in June, July of last year. So you can see what's happening then. So the next question that begs to be asked is, why is this happening? I always tell everybody, just go online and do a Google search and put coconut shortage 2022, and you're going to see from academic studies to Time Magazine, and you'll find a series of informational tags that you can look at, and it tells you exactly what's happening. And what's happening is, in the past decade, in the past 10 years, the coconut production worldwide has increased by 16%, while the demand has increased by 600%. Now, that's quite a gap that's going to be extremely difficult to bridge anytime soon. So the next question is, well, why has there been such a small growth in the production of coconuts? And basically is the big coconut growing countries like the Philippines, Indonesia, Thailand, and Vietnam and Malaysia. Most of those coconut farmers are small operations, like 20 acres or less, and they actually are families that live off the coconuts that they grow themselves. So the government of those countries has not been involved or supportive of replacing those coconut trees that mature at 70 years old. And they're all maturing at 70 years old. So it's that growth pattern of 16% per year is not going to be there in a few years. So they're not in the mood of providing funds. So the coconut farmers who actually feed their families off these small farms can't afford to cut down the trees, let the soil replenish its nutrients, and then at the same time get seedlings to put back in, and then wait 30 months if they can afford the seedlings that are the dwarf trees that are from Brazil. If they can afford those, it takes 30 months to harvest. So that's where we come in, and we have found success in Matina. Most of you are not going to be familiar with Matina. Matina is the prime coconut growing area in Central America because of its soil composition and its height above sea level, which can't be more than 600 feet above sea level. So it's like the perfect storm to grow coconuts. So what we've done is we've secured and have listings for coconut farmlands. And what Coconut Investment Group does is, once the investors invest in buying a coconut farm, we take care of the rest. It's passive income, it's automated. So we go ahead and first of all, we look at the soil, we test the soil, we make sure that we do drones to measure the land. We also have our own surveyor that goes back and remeasures it again. Then we go to we have 2 teams of attorneys that we use. And what we do there is they will then do the additional due diligence on top of what we've already done. I mean, we'll even go to the government land office to make sure that everything is on the up and up. with measurements and so forth, and who's the owner and all this kind of stuff. So that's not an issue at all. The other thing that we do is we have certified seedlings that we plant in the ground. Just for anybody that might want to know, it's 5.5 meters apart that we plant these trees. We plant approximately 174 trees per acre, and they come out. We take care of everything, including the farm maintenance. At the end of 30 months, the first seedlings can come out. The first year will produce about 21,000 coconuts per acre. The second year of harvest, it goes up to around close to 30-something, 40,000 coconuts per acre. And then finally, the third year produces 65,250 coconuts per acre that then continues to produce for the next 27 years past that. So it's an investment that you put in up front, and then you can just watch it grow and continue to produce. Now, all my calculations and my forecast are based on 13 cents a unit, which is what it's on the international market today. If I had a crystal ball, I'd probably tell you it's going to be 50 cents in 3 years, but I'm not going to do that because my crystal ball broke. But I can pretty much, if you read those things in Google, it'll tell you what's happening with the coconut market. The last thing that I want to add as something for an investor to think about is, okay, so you have 20 million coconuts coming out of your farm. I mean, what do I do now with 20 million coconuts? Well, you per se, the investor, don't do anything. We've taken care of securing 3 letters of intent to purchase current and all future crops that we produce off our lands, including the #1 exporter of coconuts, who last year was 40-foot containers short of filling all his orders. We also have the largest, it's in country, and what they do is they produce coconut water for, for restaurants and like whatever. And then the last one that we have a Walmart, Costa Rica, which is huge out here. They have 3 brands, Maxi Pali, Pali, and Más por Menos, and including their own Walmarts that we have in country. They've committed to buy our coconuts as well. So you can see, like, from start to finish, it's pretty cool. So if you look at the third year of harvest, which is 65,250 coconuts per acre, for argument's sake, let's just say you have a 40-acre farm. You multiply 65,250 times 13 cents. That tells you what your revenue is. So the next question for an investor would be, well, how much does it cost me to maintain it? The maintenance on this is $711 per year per acre. So if you take the 65,250 coconuts that are produced by that 1 acre, and you divide it into that 711, it comes out to 0.009, less than a penny maintenance per coconut. So it's really affordable. And just another aside, we have 4 teams of 10 workers. We have a lead on every team, and we also have on payroll full-time the #1 coconut expert in Costa Rica that we spirited away from other endeavors that he was doing, and he now works full-time for us. We try to do everything up front. We recommend doing an LLC here in Costa Rica, and our lawyer takes care of that. So it's pretty much an automated passive income opportunity.
That's awesome. I don't know if you have your computer up right now or not, but I made it the host. If you want to share anything on your screen, you're more than welcome. If you don't have anything ready, that's okay too. Yep. So you can hit share screen, and then you should be able to kind of show anything you'd like to show on the screen.
Yeah, hold on. Okay, I'm going to show you a financial breakdown of one of the properties that we're talking about in Costa Rica. Just for everybody to know, we measure property by hectares. So 20 hectares multiplied by 2.45 acres, that tells you what 20 acres is. So 20 hectares is approximately 49 acres, 50 acres, give or take. And if you can see, this is just one sample. We have quite a few listings. And what we do is we don't take every listing. We probably take maybe 5 to 10% of the properties that we see, because we want to make sure that the soil is right. And additionally, we must make sure that there's no flooding on those properties, that there's canals that the water can drain off. But on this specific example, it's about 50 acres. The investment total there is $238,000. That's what the land is selling for. So if you run it all the way across, I call it a running profit total. So you can see you're negative 238, obviously. Then we plant the trees, which is 125. So now you're in the negative of 363. And then the annual maintenance of those $711 times the acreage comes out to that much. The first 28 month is growth period. So you're producing nothing yet. However, once 34 months start to come in, you can see the revenue that comes up. It's 132,597 minus the maintenance gives you 97,758. Now your total running profit total is reduced to 335. And then if you can see it, and let's say just 82 months, now all of a sudden it starts to increase as you wipe out the negative to get started. And at 82 months, you're at 1,010,000, and then at 96 months, you're 1.3, so forth and so on. So you can see that, and this continues on for another 27 years. And again, the coconut yield revenue, which is this one right here, that is based on 13 cents per coconut. Like I said, I don't like to put anything that I don't know for sure. And it's a pretty much simple operation. We go through our attorneys. We go, like I said, we do the whole due diligence. And for people who are not aware of, in Costa Rica, you have the same property rights as a native-born Costa Rican. So you are allowed to purchase property. It's in your name or the company name, and then the company gets registered with all the members of that LLC. And then what we do is, once it hits the National Registry after closing, takes about 4 or 5 days, then we send you a copy of the inscription into the Costa Rican National Registry, and it's there until you decide to sell it. What we do is we don't charge. You see the annual maintenance, that's a pass-through, and the planting is a pass-through. So the investor sends it to Costa Rica. We in turn just take it and pass it through to pay for all our employees. We just bought a new tractor, fixed the old tractor. So we take care of everything. That's a pass-through. What we do, insurance for our workers. We actually insure our workers, which is kind of unusual for farm laborers. So we do that. But the other piece is what we charge is the 5% of the ownership. So for example, we would have 1 hectare that would be in Coconut Investment Group's name. So we generate 5% of that $1 million way down. That's all we charge. We don't charge anything else. Allie, maybe she can add something.
Everything on spot for me is so for all the clients we have right now. Pretty much is all over. A lot of the states and Israel, and I think it's so important to Canada that in Costa Rica, unlike other places, like Mexico and stuff like that, you get to own the land, and that's paramount. For an investor coming in with us, it's a very seamless venture where we do have the top of the top. If we do things, we do them right. I'm sure you guys do your own business in the like manner, and it's about being professionals and being the real deal, and having that welcome opportunity of what Costa Rica is giving out as a country, and this tremendous product and the opportunity to become, owning land and taking that money that's going to be taken up by the government, capital gains and things that are coming, especially to the USA soon, to kind of take that money off and saying, hey, you know what, let's give it back. I love a quote from Mark Twain. Mark Twain said that, invest in land because it's not made anymore. And I go by that, and so does Nelson. We're very excited. We have some great people, different teams of investors that have come in, people from India, people all over the US, and it's just proven out to be sort of like a swift pitch, as we anchor ourselves and just partner with our investors.
The other thing is, which is very important, because this is a small country. We're the size of West Virginia. Then there's approximately 5.5 million people here. But the community that we're in is called the Matina community, and it's anchored by the city of Matina. Then there's some familiar names that may come to you, like Bristol, Baltimore, Boston. Those are all communities within the Matina. And those are extremely poor areas. So one of the things that we do is we pay our workers almost double what the pineapple growers pay. We also pay their CAP, which is our equivalent of healthcare, socialized healthcare. So we try to do things the right way, and we've gotten a reputation out in the Matina area that has been remarkable. We've gotten letters of support for everything that we do. We got from the community council to the governor. As a matter of fact, we're heading on Friday to Matina, because we've been invited, special invitees to the regional festival. So I don't know what that means. I don't know if I got to wear like a funky hat or something, but I'm all good, So we go out there. One of the things that we try to do, even in our own community here, is whatever we do, we try to give back to the community. One of the things that's pretty terrible is there's the tamale leaf. When you make a tamale, you put like a leaf around it. So a tamale leaf comes from this plant tree that's about 30 feet tall, 35 feet. And so it's always women that cut them down, the leaf from that side. So it comes down like a bullet. And the edge has got maybe like a 2 to 3 inch, very hard, very sharp, like real sharp. And it comes down at such speed that sometimes they don't have the opportunity to move their heads away. And so it catches them in the eyes. And we've met several women that have had their eyes poked out. Their kids are out there in Swallow. Their kids are out there. Snakes are out there. So one of the things that we're doing is, first of all, we try to bring them in. The second thing is we're working now on trying to secure funding to do a child care center within a factory to take care of those women and provide them with health care, provide a child care facility. So we're not only working, for our investors, but we're hoping that this leads into a much bigger social project in that community that really needs it. And it's been forgotten, not only by the government, but by the banana growers. And you all know them, they're in your grocery stores, the big banana chain, and also the big pineapple chain. And I mean, it's pretty sad that they've kind of turned their backs on the community while, polluting their waters. And everything that we do is organic. The only products that we use are salt and chicken manure. And that's about it. That's all we use to grow our coconuts. And we take care of them. Many of the workers are women. So we put them out of the fields of the banana growers. And the reason being is they take those seedlings and they treat them like if it was their own babies. So it's kind of interesting, you know, that's what we do.
I think it's such a great project that I have like a special interest in, and that's something that actually I've reached out to Elena Cardone. We were all just at this wonderful event it's going to be 2 weeks this weekend, and it's so important to see how these women, and I think Nelson is going to share a picture of them. You can't put, okay, and I will send that to you guys, and you know, to your emails. I was so moved as a woman. That you know, when you see the seedlings and they're all living, we were just down there and got to see and meet like about 12 of them, and the way they nurture these coconuts alive. And so I'm taking a special interest to see this project through. We will be following up with the municipality. We're going to be
We got them all ready to pave the road, so they're going to be paving the road down one of the areas that we have a lot of coconut. And that's going to make a huge impact. So we're working on it. You know, we're moving along. But again, you know, if anybody has any questions on the farmlands, we'll give it a shot and see what we can do to answer them.
How did you guys fall into this, or like how'd you find out about all this, and how did it all get started?
It's pretty simple. It's we showed you the coconut that we produce out here. And so about a year ago, I said, you know, there's going to be a coconut shortage. So where am I going to get the coconuts for ourselves, since we ship to Vegas? You know, this is the coconut again. So we ship these to Vegas, Dodger Stadium, Royal Caribbean coming soon. So where am I going to get the coconuts from? So I said, well, you know, we have land ourselves that we bought out there that we planted, and those seedlings will be coming out in about a year or less. So we decided to, you know, just one farm wasn't going to satisfy how many coconuts we needed. So we decided to do a bigger project. So that's how we wound up in the coconut farm. And just for background, I grew up on a sugar plantation in Cuba with 1,600 acres. So, and I learned a lot from the people who worked it. It's very similar to the coconut as you process it and do whatever. So that's how we came about it. And I predicted a year ago when we were doing this that there was going to be a coconut shortage in Costa Rica. And I said, it's going to take about a year. Okay, so we take deliveries here on Sundays from the Caribbean side. They truck them over here. And as it turned out, this is July, August of last year. So as it turns out, here we are in June. And this past Sunday, we could not take a delivery because they couldn't find coconuts for us. So my prediction kind of came true. I timed it wrong. I should have said 10 months, but it was actually, I said 12. So I just missed on the timing somewhat. But it's amazing because I get this call at midnight. They're going, so-and-so cut theirs down, so-and-so cut their down, and they're being sold like all over the country. So I can't bring your coconuts on Sunday. So they're coming to our warehouse today. So, but it tells you, you know, and that delay of 3 days will continue to grow as more people buy coconuts and less coconuts are out there. So that's how we fell upon just, you know, how do we increase our own supply chain? And so we decided to create our own.
You're like, if you to buy the initial land, they do offer financing. There are financing options.
Yeah, we have a company that if you got to qualify and like whatever, and they will finance land in Costa Rica, but you got to be a U.S. resident, and apply through them, and then off we go. But what we do is the land out there has been, it's special. When I have to quote it in colones, which is our national currency. The reason why is because the colones goes up and down. So it would mean nothing to me to tell you what it was in dollars, a year ago when we first sold our first land or when we bought ours. But about a year ago, it was 4 million colones to $1. I'm sorry, 625 colones to $1. And a hectare was costing 4 million colones back. Now we're closing on a land here on Monday that was sold for 10 million colones per hectare. So it's gone from 4 to 10. So the other thing to remember is not only are you getting the benefit of the coconuts and selling them and so forth, but you still own the land, and the land will be increasingly more valuable because of the product of the commodity that's grown on it, which is the coconuts. So yeah, prices have, and they're like, we're in competition because banana growers are trying to expand. The pineapple growers are trying to expand. I don't want to say names, but Del Monte is trying to expand, and on and on and on and on. And like we're like in between, So yeah, it's moving there, and the value is just totally increasing just on the land alone.
Something also to keep in mind, part of this big project that we're looking forward that involves the women and stuff like that, a big part of it is going to be a factory. And from there, we're going to be able to do all the different byproducts from the coconuts. As a lot of us know, we just, we drink the water, which is extremely healthy. It's something that, the world is now all vegan and going green. And that's something obviously we support, but also all the byproducts, the oils, the milk, the cream. Now that we're using even here, there's the cocoa peat.
Which is the
fiber.
Yeah, it's like a fiber. So what you do is you take this, for example, and let's say you sell the nut, which is on the inside. So this part is excess, plus the green is an excess, the outside insulation part. So you take all of that and you throw it through this, for another term, it's a grinder. Okay. It's got different teeth, different sizes, and there's different rolls. And what they do is they shred that into a very long and thin fiber. So that long and thin fiber, they're experimenting with it here in Costa Rica, and they're doing rural, not highways, but rural roads, with mixing the asphalt with the cocoa peat because it adds strength and it also adds flexibility. So the other thing they're experimenting with is they're making bricks for homes, embedding the cocoa peat into it, again, because of flexibility and strength. So the number, like Ali said, the number of products that can be made. So we're actively talking to partners to try to make a factory where all these byproducts can be extracted and sold. We have a contact already that will buy all the cocoa peat we produce and send it to Chile. It's amazing. We have a sizable order of just the coconut in green form to send them to Europe. So a factory down the road, not that far down the road, is a distinct probability where it would be amazing, And then of course we want to have room in there for a couple of childcare rooms and, for the kids of those women. We would employ mostly women in there, take them out of the tamale business. So that's down the road, not far.
You said you had like processing plants like on both coasts, or you were going to, or something?
Yeah, we have a processing plant right now where we ship to Long Beach, and we're working on a processing plant out of Limon, which would will take up the whole East Coast, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Savannah, Houston, New Orleans, all the way up.
Mhm.
But right now we're processing and shipping to Long Beach. And one other thing that to remind folks is when you buy and it's simple math. So you put a 20-foot, 40-foot refrigerated container, you put it on a boat in, let's say, Vietnam. It takes approximately 23 days to get to Long Beach. We take 7. So the cost of shipping from over there to the US costs 3 times as much as shipping from here to Long Beach, where it only takes 7 to 8 days. What that does, it also extends the shelf life of the coconut. So the retailer, instead of buying 2 cases because it could expire by the time you sell it, when you have an extra 2 to 3 weeks worth of shelf life, then you're able to buy larger quantities because you have the shelf life to be able to move it. So and it comes in less because the shipping costs are substantially less than they are from Vietnam or Thailand or whatever, India. And you always wonder, well, how the hell do the coconuts get to India? I have from India to, let's say, like to Spain or England, dude, it's got to cost like $1 gazillion just for a coconut because the shipping has got to be a bear. I really, I don't know. I have no clue how they do that, but we would have a distinct advantage of shipping coconuts from here to Spain and a lot less cost. And we're talking to people in Spain right now about shipping green coconuts to them, or then they would process it then in Spain and distribute throughout Europe. So there's a lot of moving pieces, but the main piece right now is the lands, because we need to have a steady supply of coconuts. And if we reach our goal of lands, we being Costa Rica, would be the largest coconut exporter in the world. And how many was it? 52 metric tons if we get to our goal of the number of properties, which would outpace literally any country, India, Thailand, or whatever. Plus, we would have the ability to get it to market quicker.
And to market is paramount.
So that's the key.
When you're dealing with a consumable like this, and whether obviously it's going to be refrigerated wherever it goes, but it's just wonderful to see how many people are up, looking for an opportunity. We have people, as Nelson mentioned, we have a huge interest in Spain. We just, the word gets out, good news travels. And we've been already contacted from Colombia to kind of tap into what it is that we're doing here, not only as the Coconut Investment Group, but with our own private product. So it's a lot of good news, a lot of exciting things coming up for any investor that's interested.
Yeah. Do you guys have any pictures of your farm handy at all? I can reclaim. I think you're still the host.
Yeah, hold on. Give me a second. Let me go. Okay. Yeah, let me see. Oh, no, I got some here. Hold on, guys.
No problem.
Give me a second.
Did you talk about my phone died for a minute there, so I didn't get on, but you talk about all the different uses of the coconuts as far as roads and cement and stuff like that? Okay.
Yeah. One thing that we forgot to mention is that we've already experienced ourselves. I think a lot of us love to grill and barbecue. Oh, yeah. And continuing on that path of staying more healthy, especially after this worldwide pandemic. The coconut peat is also going to be used into the pellets for barbecue. And we have gone out and tried it a little bit on our end, and it's what it does to the actual flavor of the meat, whether it be obviously beef or chicken, is absolutely unbelievable. And it's just amazing.
Sounds like a good private label opportunity of private label.
I just bought pellets.
Brisket.
I just bought pellets for my grill yesterday. So
Oh, no way.
that's
Stop
funny.
it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
Have you-
got the apple flavor.
Right.
Oh my
And
God.
they have all those
So-
flavors. I've never seen coconut though, but I think
Demon?
that would be like with coconut being like a buzzword right now. That could be a huge product. You think?
Yeah, that's
That'd be
fine.
huge.
Yeah, private label. Yeah, then the other thing that's really big, hold on. I'm trying to get to where we are here with, show just one of our farms. Hold on. I see Damon again, but that's not who I really wanted to see. Actually. Nothing personal, Damon.
Damon.
Nothing personal, Damon. Hold on. All right. I'm going to show you a picture. Dude, where are you guys here? No. Yeah, send it to me, but I'm trying to get back to the guys here. Hold on.
One of those drone shots, like actual live footage of your drone shots to
Yeah.
see as well.
Yeah. How do I get you back? Oh, here you go. I got it. Trying to get back to the. Yeah, I know. I can't seem to get it here. Exit minimize. There we go. All right. Share screen. I want to show you one that that we have listed now. This just came in a listing yesterday, so I haven't completely worked it up. So you can see what it looks like. Okay, but I also want to show you from Allie here. And then this is see, I am. I got it. All right. Oh, it's okay. So that one just came in yesterday that I just shared there with you.
And did you talk about there are other farms right now? You said earlier, I think, that are ready to go, that have coconuts producing already that you can purchase as well.
Yeah. Yeah, we have some, hold on. We have,
We just sold one. Actually, we're in the process of closing that. It's a 8.5 hectares. We're looking at about 22.
no.
What is it?
Okay.
That's the one that's kind of like 22 acres, and of which we're only going to plant 2 because all the rest is already producing. So this investor, which you see here in the picture,
How am I trying to remember?
he's already coming in with a land that's
already
like 70% populated.
all right, hold on. How do I get back to the call? No, I can see it, but
I think
How
you
do
have
I
to
get-
not share the screen, or you have to maybe
okay,
unshare.
stop share.
Stop
Oh,
sharing,
yeah, here it is, yeah. Okay, now I can share, right?
Yep.
Okay. Here's a video. Okay. Of one of our farms. Did you guys get it?
Yeah, we can see it.
We can see it.
And then let me get another one. I'm gonna go to desktop. I don't know how to go desktop. Anyway, I'd show you a picture of a farm, another farm, but I can't get to desktop.
That's okay. Maybe what we can do is
I
Eric,
can email
I think if he sends us pictures, I think we can add the pictures into the
Yep.
video, couldn't we?
Yep.
Yeah, we can do that. Yep. So with this farm that already has trees ready to go, I mean, that thing, so that would hit the
Yeah,
ground
the one
running
we
and you're
just-
already going to be producing?
Yeah, the one we just are closing on Monday. It's 20 acres. 2 hectares need to be planted, which is give or take like 5 acres. It has producing 10,000 coconuts a month. The rest of the acreage that's in there is in various stages of growth, you know. Some are a year old, some are going to be producing within a year, so it's, you know, it's a mismatch. And those 10, once we take it, it hasn't been well cared for. So we'll take it over. We close on Monday. Tuesday morning, our crews are there cleaning it out. And then we'll start adding salt and chicken manure to try to increase their production. And then we go from there. Yeah, that one is on Monday. So Tuesday, the crew, one of the crews will be out there. I'm not sure which crew it is, but one of them will be out.
So what was the cost of that land?
That land was 149. It was 10 million colones per hectare, something. So it was 149.9. But there's others that, and that one's a little bit more expensive because it had the coconut trees already producing. But there's others that are like 126 or, you know, in that range because they don't have trees on them. Okay, so it's like, for example, some of them have, like if it was a pineapple plantation or pineapple farm before or a banana farm before, we don't even touch it because they put pesticides. So then we can't sell the coconuts as organic, even though we don't put pesticides on it, you know, but just the fact that that's what it was there before. We don't touch it. We have, right now we're planting halfway, 3/4 of the way through a 28 hectare, which that's a big property, an 18 hectare. And a 26 hectare was, a quarter of it was planted and was producing already, but we already put salt in to make it produce more. And we're halfway through planting the balance of that. So right now we're planting on 3 or 4, you know, different properties of different sizes. Some are big, some are not so big. So that's where we are with the process.
So with that, with like, it's producing 10,000 coconuts right now. You think if you do you treat it well, and it's gonna,
it should
increase
probably 14,000 a month, because that's a month, that 10,000. Yeah. So it'd be able to increase at least 30%, 35%, just by adding, you know, salt and chicken manure. And that's part of the maintenance process that we do. That 7-11 a month, you know, a year per acre. That's part of what we do too. You know, if we need to do salt or whatever to increase the production, we take care of it. And the other piece that we do when we plant, if one of the seedlings doesn't grow for whatever reason, then we just replace it and reseed it again, you know, and put the salt and everything again. So that's
if we were to have like a frequently asked questions section, this would probably be that part. And you guys obviously have the most things answered for us, but you know, you must, from investors, you must get tough questions or questions that make sense that you went forward. So if we're in a frequently asked questions section, you know, what are the top 2 on the positive side, top 2 on the negative side of this whole venture, if you classify it like that?
Probably one of them would be, are there any natural disasters that could come and, you know, ruin the crop? The big natural disaster that ruins coconut crops are, let me give you an example. Let's say Puerto Rico. or any of the islands there, you know, so they're in Hurricane Alley. So when the hurricanes come through there, it's like bullets, you know, they're like shells flying through the air, and it damages the trees, so they don't produce as much. Okay, so our response to that, we don't have hurricanes. We do have volcanoes that on occasion may spew out something. And we haven't had any in the 2 or 3 years at least that have spewed out anything, but whatever. If they do, it's actually a benefit because we get all these new nutrients to come on it. So that's one of the answers to, you know, if they're natural disasters. The other one is, what about diseases on the plants? Okay, so there's two types of plants. One is that coconut tree that grows like 40 feet tall. We don't use that one. Those are more susceptible to diseases and so forth. We plant the dwarf tree, which grows to 6 feet, tops is 8 feet tall. And just on a side, if you got to harvest a 40-foot tree, by the time you harvest one, then you know you climb up there and whatever, and then it damages the coconuts because they go 40 feet down. But anyway, so you go up there, you harvest. You can harvest probably 3 to 4 trees that are 8 foot tall in the same amount of time. And also, just again on another side, when our buyers come to buy our trees, we do not harvest. They harvest. So we have no expense on paying for the harvesting of it or the hauling away or like whatever. So we take care of that through the buyers. The buyers are the ones that do that. So getting back to the disease on the trees, since our trees grow are 6 to 8 feet, they're Brazilian trees. They're easy to harvest, but when it comes time for diseases, they're very resistant to getting diseases. They're not as prone as the tall trees. And then we also have, again, our fella who's from the coconut expert. I've asked him this question. He goes, it's not an issue with the small trees. You may get one here, you may get there, but it's easily to control because it doesn't spread as like in the tall trees. You know, that's the two negative ones. The positive ones would be, yeah, well, what's the price of a coconut 20 years from now? Hell if I know, you know, but I can tell you it's not going to be 13 cents, you know. So I said to somebody, here's a good response. So you have 20 million coconuts coming out of your farm. Right now it's 13 cents. And just for argument's sake, let's just say it goes down to 10 cents, which it won't, but 10 cents. So you lost 3 cents on 20 million coconuts. How much do you still have?
You're still in the positive.
Yeah, it's like millions, you know, because the cost to produce a coconut is, like I said before, you take that 7-Eleven and you divide it into 60,250 coconuts that each acre produces, divide that into that, and it goes 0.009. So if it goes down to 5 cents, you're still making 4 times.
And
So
you haven't even included those byproduct cells that you'll be selling to other people as well.
Right. If once we get that factory, then the investor group that puts into this factory, it's hard for me even now to try to calculate what the sales would be. But let me give you an example. So you take this and you just take the nut on the inside, you give it a salt bath, you put a stamp on it, a logo, Walmart, Royal Caribbean, like whatever, right? So then you have all of this left over plus the green shell, okay? That factory then takes it and feeds it through and makes all kind of stuff. I really don't know, you know, like if you own the land and you own the thing, you're paying less than a penny and you produce like minimum of 3 byproducts off the one coconut. I don't know. I really, it's mind boggling. You know, once you start, one time I started to do that, I started looking like, what's the international rate on milk and like oil is $2,000 and change for a 50-gallon drum that takes about 400 coconuts. But if you're paying less than a penny per coconut and you own the land and you own the factory, you know, calculate that one out. I don't know what it is, you know? So it's like, you know what I mean? If a group decides and able to put a factory together, all bets are off. So if you own the land and you own the factory, you got vertical, you're done. It's a deal. Big time.
Also, it's important to keep in mind that, you know, because of how we treat the coconut and it's growing in, the soil has volcanic minerals, because that's, you know, a lot here. Like when you come and you see the beaches, it's volcanic sand. So there's a lot of rich minerals in this particular area, which makes our coconuts a lot sweeter. And it's funny because we have done the due diligence to test other coconuts, you know, and we see how our coconuts are sweeter. Though it sounds kind of funny, our coconuts are sweeter.
Yeah, and we make them sweet with salt.
And that's
kind of, you know, like what you make it sweet with salt. Yeah, because the salt takes all the acidity out of the land.
I think it's like anything. Like we had a client ask a really good question, and he said, well, how about if somebody else wants to undermine and sell
their coconuts for
10 cents and
10
we're
cents.
selling it at 15 cents?
Go ahead.
You can't burst quality in what you're giving and owning as an investor in your own land.
Because like for example, this, if you sell this at 13 cents and, you know, and Eric sells it at 10 cents, go ahead, Eric, sell it at 10 cents, all you want. But at the end of the day, if we're the biggest and you need to ship 1.4 million coconuts to Spain, you can't go to everybody that's got, you know, 5 acres, 10 acres. It's, you know, like, makes it kind of impossible. So it's incumbent. I mean, you can sell it for wherever you want, but at the end of the day, he who has the most, he controls.
I love that you guys are treating your workers better, and big industry with the other guys is you're going a different route. You talk about insuring your workers and different things like that. You know, being from the Midwest and just knowing about just a little bit of farming and stuff. Is a person able to insure their land for anything,
No.
or
No,
anything like that?
No, we take care of that. We do, for example, when you do, there's no land insurance here anyway, so that's that. But we take care of, through that 7-Eleven that we talked about, you know, that pays for worker insurance also, which nobody does. The land, no, there's no insurance for land. There isn't. Taxes are like super low. I'm talking like $300, $400 for 20 acres or 40 acres, whatever it is. So that's not an issue either. And it's funny because when we have our workers that we're insuring them, it's kind of like a novelty because nobody else does. So, I mean, I get calls, like my phone rings off the hook with people calling us that they want to work with us, that they want to, you know. So it's been pretty amazing that if you treat people well, people will treat you well also. So that's where we're at. And it's been a really good experience because we'll go out there and they're humble. I mean, they live humbly, you know. And we'll go out there and we'll go and come on in, you know, food, dinner, and I'm going like, oh my God, you know, and here's something to drink, and you know, it's like whatever, you know, it's like it's amazing because they see the value that we bring to their community, and we are going to continue to bring it to their community. That's our goal. So our goal is to provide for our investors and provide for our workers. And obviously, if we provide for our workers, then we provide for our community.
We have found the importance of treating people with dignity, the way that we like to be treated, and being of Spanish background, even though we're not from this country, we understand the common folk. We know that their land to them is like sacred, where their children are maybe growing up in Europe or studying abroad and all this stuff. We see these farmers, how they love their land, and we treat them as such. And when you give people that, talk about accelerating wealth, we're looking to, that sort of mind, body, and spirit. But then at the end of the day, they win, we win. Every, has a big piece of, this community. And not only do we grow for our own, people, it's like a went well. They feel great, they feel accepted, and it's just it's beautiful to see.
They've had other people that have come in, other groups that have come in, trying to literally steal their land from foreign countries. Yeah, some Nicaraguans, some people from Holland. So, so they were very leery of people coming in to sell, because I can tell you 90% of the owners of these lands are grandpa age, okay? Where their kids and their grandkids are living in San Jose, they're engineers, lawyers, the other ones are in Europe and like whatever. So those kids are not interested, and they're telling grandpa, sell it, come live to the city, it's that stuff. So we've gotten past that, because we had to get past that, because we're not Dutch. We're not the people who came here, offering you all this cash and all this. We don't. I always tell them, I said, no, we're not doing that. And then they're surprised. So once we did our first 4 or 5 properties, then now the entire community knows us. And there have been other people that have tried to scam them. And they'll call me and I'll say, tell you what, get their ID, take a picture of it with your phone, send it to me, and I'll send it to the authorities. So it's not coming from you. And all of a sudden, people start to believe in you, and they start to believe and trust in what you do. And I tell you what, if anybody is welcome to come here to Costa Rica, it's a great place to visit and vacation. And if anybody's really interested, they can come down. We'll pick you up at the airport and we'll go see the farm.
Any questions?
Anybody have any questions?
No, I think Damien had the question I had about the insurance. That's the one question that I had, but
Right.
I don't think I have any questions.
What type of like for financing, what type of a down payment would are you looking at for like a mortgage or something on the land?
Yeah, I would send that to you, and they would handle that. But some of these lands are really, we're talking about a couple of $100,000 and you're in, so it's not a lot of money. So I'm not sure what they would do, but I would send it, forward to you guys to, and then of course, or anybody else, they're welcome to contact them and say, look, if I buy this, like buying anything,
A lot of people do that.
Yeah, so most of our customers just, clients, they just pay cash for it, but there's options to use financing. So we've gotten that in place.
You guys have like a website or any kind of marketing materials that you have together that you could provide to?
Yep, you
Okay.
just go on to www.coconutinvestmentgroup.net. And it'll give you there, we have a section there that it calls for how it works, like what we do in a whole bit. We also have just a small sampling of properties that are available. We have over 20 right now. And we also have there some of the projects that we are already working on, that we already planted or are in the process of planting.
I don't know if it was you guys or someone else, is this person like your coconut? Do you guys buy it from this guy, Coco Taps for You? Coco Vinny, have you heard of him?
Yeah, Coco, Vinny, and us are partners on the tap.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I didn't know if I got that from you guys or someone
Yeah,
I
you
met
probably got it
recently.
from
Like,
us.
oh,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know
yeah,
about
yeah.
coconuts. Like this guy, he
He's
does
a-
coconuts and he walks
Yeah,
around talking about coconuts and stuff like
exactly.
that.
See, we take this
Yeah.
and we shape it and we ship it to Vegas where they're located. And then they put the
The
logo
brand.
and then they put the tap on it. And then here in Costa Rica, you know, we have a bunch of outlets that we do the entire process. And we're looking right now at expanding to a couple of countries in South America
Okay.
with the taps. Yeah, cool beans.
Yeah.
You talked about too, like doing like Airbnbs on the land or something like that, and then you've got like, you know, like waterways that go to the ocean where you could bring in
There,
like tour
exactly.
groups off the cruise ships. And
Yep, there's just on an aside, there's a piece of property. I mean, you kind of have to picture this, okay? So you've got this canal, man-made, but it's a big canal, and it feeds into the Caribbean. So currently, you have little boats that come, you know, bring the tourists and stuff like that, you know. But there's a property that's 37 hectares, so it's like 100 acres or whatever, that's primed for planting coconuts, and it's right here. And then it's got, it looks like an axe handle, 14 hectares that are adjoined. So you add those up as like 51 hectares, 250 acres. But then there's a road, and we had the community, the local government put in a new bridge there, and they've already done it. I was surprised that they actually did it, but that's besides the point. You know? So they put in a new bridge. But if you do that 37 hectare one, and you plant trees, and then you put the glamping, you know, those glamorous camping things, and you stick them in there. Those tourists come from the Caribbean side, and they come on their little boats, and they stay there. And then you do it all as an all-inclusive, and they can help, you know, with the trees and, you know, whatever it is, an eco destination, a cocoa eco destination. So yeah, I thought about that. I went, dude, and if you do like a yoga retreat with the glamping, even better, because it's quiet out there. It's really kind of pretty cool, you know. But and just to give you an idea where we are, when that axe handle is 37 plus 14, the 42 that's in the middle, we're in the process of selling that one already. The one across the way is 40. We're also in the process of selling it. The 28 has sold. One down here, 18 has sold. So we're like all around it with coconuts already being planted. So it's like pretty interesting, you know. Now this 37 is 14. They don't have coconuts on it yet. They have some palm oil trees on it that we harvest. But other than that, it's ready to be planted. It's clean. And that one is like really an inexpensive property. Like the others are going, like the one I told you, we sold for 10 million colones. This one is going for, I want to go 4.5 million colones. So it's like half, 4.7. The reason is it's an older guy. And he's got I want to say one grandkid and one son that are wheelchair bound. So he needs, you know what I mean? He needs that cash inflow to meet it. I mean, I paid his mortgage once, you know, for a month just so that he could get by. So it's pretty cool. But that's like what we talked about, like a glamping site. Oh.
Something to keeping in mind with the automation piece and what's happening with Bitcoin and all these things and NFTs. I sent Eric some pictures and a couple of videos now, and this is one particular couple that is buying a lot here in Costa Rica. They bought personal land for themselves. They're building homes. They got 2 condos, and they've bought it's about 22 acres. And they're so excited because they've got some product already growing, and then they've got 3 grandkids. So here's the takeaway, okay? Each child is gonna have their own tree. So then they're gonna travel periodically. We send the drones out and see the baby seedling grows. So Dylan is going to have his own tree. Mary's going to have her own tree. Jason's going to have his own tree,
So you can do that with glamping.
or
You know,
just
the-
NFTs.
You know, even with the glamping piece, you know, you can put your name on it. I don't know. There's like a gazillion ideas that somebody
Yeah,
can do.
my really good friend in Tennessee, he just started Your Glamping, what is it called? Your Glamping Adventure. And he's putting up 3 places in Tennessee, but his whole goal to make Your Glamping Adventure a destination, like eco-friendly, you know,
Exactly.
getaway, stuff like that. He's like, where should we go? He's actually polling his new people that are coming in. Where should we go next? You know, where should we buy
Costa
property
Rica.
next? Yeah, I know.
Costa
And
Rica.
that's the funny thing. So now I'm gonna have to
Wait,
to
before,
get him on a
here's one
plane
that you
to
can,
go see this property.
no, you need to tell them also, just that, now that you said glamping, okay? We took in a property a couple of weeks ago. And where we live is the tourist destination of Costa Rica. Most because of the proximity to the airport. We're only an hour and 10, 15 minutes to the airport. So here you have all the infrastructure. You got high-end restaurants, you got movie theater, you got casino, you got the beach, you got, you know, like everything that a tourist would want is here, plus the proximity to the airport makes it a real draw. Okay, so this is Jaco, which is where we are, but Jaco in the last few years has exploded, has grown to the north, and it's grown to the south and now growing to the north. But the next community further south is exactly 20 minutes from here. So it's not like, you know, like a real far distance, great road, okay? So we took in a property that's 54 acres with a waterfall.
Oh my goodness.
There you go, Damon. There's your waterfall. You're always looking for waterfalls.
Dude,
And,
no,
and
no,
that's what he has on
Looking
his
waterfalls.
Tennessee property. Like I could show you
Yeah.
pictures, like that
no,
waterfall.
but so you go up, it's a great road to go up, and then it goes into the property and you keep going up. So when you get to where you would have a reception center, you know, for the guests or whatever, you look out there and you see the Pacific Ocean.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Okay, and you see the Pacific Ocean, and then you have the waterfall, you have the lagoon where you can dip in and like whatever. It's got, you know, flat land to put stuff on, and the total price for selling that property is $280,000
Wow.
for 54 acres. So somebody, I mean, if somebody buys that property and doesn't do anything with it, just let it
just
sit.
fine. Yeah.
No, just let it sit, whatever. The town is going that way. And it won't be long. I mean, really not long, because the mountain next door is already built up with $1 million homes. So just, if you don't put a glamping or nothing on it, just buy it, leave the lock on the gate and boom, don't worry about it. Make believe you don't have the money, just let it sit.
Yeah.
And then you can parcel it out. There's like glamping, parceling it out for homes, like whatever.
Just so much could be done, like horseback riding through the falls. It's just amazing.
ATVs. I mean, there's a ton of stuff that can be done. So that's just one that we just took in now for a glamping site.
We have interest in it. There's somebody interested flying
Yeah,
in
flying in to
July
look at it.
to look at it, because it's like, wow, you know, it's amazing. The
The
size.
view is like unbelievable, unbelievable.
Wow.
So yeah, there's a
Sounds
lot
like
of
a great place to yoga overlooking the Pacific up there. Be nice.
and the breeze. You don't know the breeze up there and the silence. All you hear is the birds. You get the scarlet macaws flying by, or the toucans. You get the monkeys. There may even be a sloth or two up there. So, you know, there's a lot of cool things up there, you know, that are coming down. So it's a great property.
Awesome. Yeah, there might be a chance that, you know, us or a group of us would definitely be interested in something like that. That sounds really cool.
I mean, and for the price,
Not gonna last like that.
you know, like 280 is like,
Yeah, Yeah. So the payment on that's like probably around like 1,300-1,400 a month, something like that.
Probably. Yeah, if you got it all financed, yeah.
Yep.
With whatever down, so that's a thought,
Yeah, we got that listing because, it's like who right?
People just come to us.
And the gentleman, again, this is an older individual wanting to get rid of it. And then I think that the nephew is the one that's sort of handling it for him.
Right.
So that he's got no interest in it. They just kind of doing the favor for the older gentleman that owns this piece. But what would that piece really go for? We just got it at that price, but it could go for so much more just because what it has.
Just because of just when you mention waterfall and then you mention ocean view, I don't know.
Sounds awesome.
I just like to go up there just to hang out. Get away from the noise,
Looks like we're going to Costa Rica, fellas.
When are you guys coming?
Yeah, we'll pick you up at the airport. We've got all that,
Yeah, we'll
taken
pick you up
care
at
of.
the airport
Also for the investors.
and then
it's
you
something
buy
that
us
we do.
lunch and then you buy us drinks. You see how I'm adding shit to it, right?
That sounds good. Give and take. Love it.
You don't think I was gonna let you get away with not just pick you up at the airport? No.
No. That works.
No, and going like from the airport to the land, it's an easy ride, it's about maybe three hours from the airport to go to the land. To come here to Haqua, it's only an hour and a half. Hour and 20, depends on traffic. So it's all good.
Sounds awesome.
I don't think I have any other questions. Do you guys have any questions?
I think so.
And if we need to do another Zoom call with whomever else also, we can do. We've even done Zoom calls from the farm.
Very cool.
Yeah, we're out there and, like, okay, here's a tree,
Here's the coconut.
Here's a coconut,
That'd be pretty cool.
Here's our workers,
One of those, yeah, that'd be pretty cool to do maybe.
Yeah, here's our new
Maybe we should
truck.
plan a call like that.
Here's our new tractor and here's our old tractor who was new at one time,
That's-
but then now it's, so we do
We should
it.
actually plan that sometime. If you're going out there, let us know. We could do that and record it. That'd be pretty cool.
Yep, pretty cool. Yeah, well, we'll be out there
This weekend.
this weekend and then the following weekend we'll be there too.
Yeah, we go, and visit often because, we believe that when you're doing something of this magnitude, you need to show.
And they
be
want us to
present.
come, like come for lunch type thing. It's like, dude, it's like a 7-hour drive for lunch. Maybe not, but if you offer lobster, then we'll be there even if it's 7 hours. But what we go is we look at land, so our people out there say, hey, listen, we found this land. And I said, okay, look at it, tell me what you think, do the soil testing and everything, then get back to me. Then they go, yeah, it looks good, but then we go look at it also. We go eyeball it. And it's a 7-hour drive one way and from here and 7 hours back one way, but usually we stop in San Jose and stay the night and have dinner out there. It's all cool.
Awesome.
So feel free to come down whenever.
Just
kinda
schedule it.
Schedule it. Make
Yep.
it happen. It's amazing how time is running by. Here we are, like, so to July, and gosh, there's people talking about the holidays already, and I'm like, oh my goodness. So yeah, we're here, and we'd be so happy to kind of welcome you and give you a pura vida welcome. Pick you up at the
beans.
airport.
Sounds awesome. Let's get it on the
Alright, well,
calendar. I got a
thanks.
couple. Okay. Yeah, thanks for the call. Yeah, and
We appreciate
Thank you guys for the time. I do appreciate it.
Yeah.
And
We'll be
hopefully,
doing that thing working.
yeah, and hopefully next year we'll be I told Mike Sancho that next year's conference needs to be a coconut conference. So I told him I don't mind presenting, but I ain't wearing no orange suit. That's beyond me already. Maybe in my younger days I would have worn a lot pale orange, but not a bright orange. But anyway, he said he'll think about But he is coming down here, by the way, to look at land. Look at some of
Oh, yes.
middle of July to middle of August in that region.
Okay,
So
cool.
so it's all cool. We
That's
got a nice
Yeah.
bunch of people.
Yeah,
Yeah, one day what I would like to do is one day have all the people that bought land meet out there. You
yeah,
know what I mean? In the farmland.
Oh,
And
okay.
then have like a big spread with whatever, all kind of chicken and pork and gandulas like we have here and all kind of stuff, So I think that that's something that we can do in the future for sure.
I think for us also.
We would even invite Damon to come down, but I'm not sure. It's kind of iffy, like whatever.
I think it's something that I also got a lot out of that, where, we all partook in the wealth accelerators. It was the fact of a legacy and Nelson.
Yeah, this lasts forever.
Yeah,
I mean,
Nelson and I obviously are a little bit more seasoned than you guys, but I think of my son and when I see that and you see it, you see how the tree comes up in 30 months and then what happens in the next year and the year after that, and then boom, then you run with it.
it runs for 30 years, and then if we're all of us around in 30 years, I don't know about me, but if we're around at 30 years, what you do is you immediately, once it stops producing, you immediately remove the tree so it doesn't keep sucking up the nutrients.
Yeah.
It'll
One
continue
question I
to
did have,
suck
I
up.
guess, is like, 20 years from now, or, love to say you're still going to be here and we're all going to be here. But, what if something happens to you guys freakly, who takes over the farm at that point? Like, do we need to
Well,
find?
remember, no, what we do, just to give you another, I didn't talk about that, but we have contracts for our farm maintenance that go on for 30 years. And then you own the land. At the end of the day, you still own the land. And we own 5%. So we pass this on to our kids, and then they take it on from there. They know what to do, sort of. And then hopefully the spirit in the sky, like that George Harrison song, that'll be us up there going over the land, So no, yeah.
About that, but
Yeah, but that's a reality, and that's what we've made a point of, is having it not only automated for the investors, but automated for whoever runs it after us. So it's just, so it just keeps going.
Yeah.
And by the way, our worker out there, our lead, he's in his early 40s, so he'll be around for a while. And then his son is actually the one that does all the work. So he's like, Chris is what, 20 something, 25, 26, and he's out there every day.
Yeah.
So
We're involved as
yeah,
well, so,
it'll stay. We try to do it so that it lasts beyond us.
Okay,
So,
that's awesome.
yeah. Yep. We try.
All right. Well, awesome, you guys. Well, let's we've got another call coming up here, but appreciate your time, you guys. And if at some point, if you guys still want to learn about Amazon and our Facebook shops,
Yeah.
obviously.
We want to learn about Facebook store too.
No, yeah, like we were speaking to Eric and we really liked it. We, see how we can continue to benefit, even though you guys are benefiting from that already and you have clients. How would we differ and we could get on a conversation like that? We're very interested in with you.
And then we'll send you some pictures. Eric, we'll send it to your email. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll send you some pictures
Sure.
and some videos
cool.
and we'll go from there, and then
Yeah,
I'll send you the financing company
Cool.
information that you can have it.
Okay.
And have a conversation with them also.
Cool.
And then off we go.
Okay.
Yeah,
Any
Eric, we can
Sounds good.
send them over information about the Facebook shop and the splits and the cost and stuff like that too, and the contracts.
Any
Yeah, we set that
questions
stuff
that
too,
you
yeah.
guys can just send it to, just either email or it doesn't matter, whatever.
When there's so many out there, how would ours get attention and all that? We want to work with you.
Perfect.
Okay?
And the last thing is everybody needs to say, when you come to Costa Rica, so you might have, I know Damon will be a little slow on this,
No,
but you need to go like this. And that's pura vida. So you say pura vida,
Pura vida.
when you
Pura vida.
say hello and when you
Yeah.
say goodbye.
anything will be.
Pura vida.
Right.
Okay?
Pura
Cool.
vida.
Bye, guys.
There you go.
Pura vida.
Thank you,
Pura
guys.
vida.
All right. Have a good night.
All right. See you later.
Bye.
All right. Pura vida. Yeah.
Pura vida. Ciao.